TVs will most of the time get replaced and updated every year, but that's not always the case, and that's the situation we've got here. So let's see if Sony's used their time to make any big improvements from the 800E. Hi, I'm Carl with App, and this is the Sony X800G series. The one we're looking at here is the 65-inch. This is the replacement of the 2-year-old X800E series, only this version comes in more sizes, as you may have noticed when I said that we were looking at the 65-inch set, which didn't exist in an 800E. But that's not the only difference. The first thing you might notice if you're familiar with the older version is the 800G has a different design for both the bezel and the pedestal. People are going to have different opinions, but I gotta say I personally prefer the older style. I think the monitor portion looked more upscale, kind of more like a Z series. The pedestals are different too, but they both look good. I'm not saying the 800G looks bad by any stretch, I just prefer the aesthetics of the 800E more. Now, as you move around to the back, you'll see a very similar setup with the inputs. There's 4 HDMIs, which on the 800G are all updated to HDCP 2.3. You do still have the same 4K limitation though, only inputs 2 and 3 are able to play back full 4K resolution at 60 Hz. The other two can still play back 4K, but only at 24 or 30 Hz. Then you've got 3 USB inputs, a shared component and composite input, along with Ethernet, antenna, and RS-232C. You also get a 3.5mm and optical audio output to go along with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. All the same as what we had on the 800E. Now, where there's a more noticeable difference is in the larger models of the new 800G. The 55-inch and larger sets get direct LED backlighting. The 49 and smaller are going to get the same edge-lit backlighting that we saw again on the 800E. So the larger models are going to be a little bit brighter and have better contrast, but they are about an inch deeper, which can be a drawback if you're looking for a thinner TV. Picture quality overall was decent. The colors look natural and not oversaturated, but they do fade pretty quickly as you move off to the side. So if you're planning on picking one of these up, your best spot to view it is going to be right in front. Motion was good too, right in line with other TVs at this price point, if not even a little bit better. It wasn't the best I've ever seen, but it was definitely good for this level of TV. No crazy judder that I noticed, and fast action appeared to move naturally. Overall though, there wasn't really a ton of noticeable improvement in the picture quality over the 800E other than the larger sets being brighter. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing since the 800E had a fine picture, but it was a little disappointing that this TV's 2 years old. I figured they'd make some bigger improvements to give people kind of a reason to upgrade. Smart features were the same too. It comes out of the box with Android 7.0, which isn't my favorite. It's a little sluggish, especially when you compare it to the other TVs that Sony makes that come with Android Oreo. But there is a silver lining in that it will be getting an update to Oreo soon, or it may have already gotten it depending on when you're watching this video. Another thing of note that has to do kind of with the smart features, the Wi-Fi pickup didn't seem to be extremely strong, so videos were taking a little longer to start up when we were streaming. To be fair, our store is around 300,000 square feet and we have probably 30 different Wi-Fi networks, so that can sometimes factor in, but still, it was not as strong as the other sets we've looked at in 2019 so far. I typically like the Sony TVs a lot, and I didn't dislike this one. I think I was just underwhelmed. The only reason I'm seeing to upgrade from an 800E would be if you really need a bigger size. Otherwise, there's not really enough of a difference. Now, if you have an older TV and want to get into 4K HDR for what I consider a fairly reasonable price at this level, this one would definitely be worth taking a look at. And if you want to see pricing on any of the available sizes, you can check out the link in our description below. Do you think there's enough of a difference to upgrade? Make sure you let us know in the comments. As always, we appreciate you checking out our video, and don't forget to subscribe so you get updates whenever we upload new content.